But God cannot be pleased. Because to say that God can be pleased is to say that God can be displeased. You cannot displease God. A very healthy and unconditional parent cannot be displeased by the child, recognizing the child is in their state of evolution. But even this analogy falls quite short, because even the most unconditional parent still has a personality. You cannot fathom this consciousness of God. It is like the sun that bathes the earth. It just radiates love. It just radiates love. And that is the original celebration of this time. The celebration of the light. The celebration of the unconditional giving of light. That's the original celebration of this time and space. Indeed, it's been a bit changed, has a different storyline, but we're not going to discuss that today. But it is important to recognize what it means to celebrate light. Because light is a realm. It's a state of consciousness, a state of frequency. One who lives in the realm of light doesn't bother with the darkness. The darkness is irrelevant. They focus on the light. That is what it's meant to say to live in higher realms. Some of you may have the preconceived notion prior to participating in this gathering today that to live in higher realms negated living on this earth plane. You mustn't see this earth plane as less than. It's part of creation. It's part of the divine plan. Even the ignorance that inhabits this earth plane, that too is part of the divine plan. For this earth plane is all about contrasts. Again, using nature as the most clear teacher. The tides of the ocean touch the shore. Until that, they are only in their own element. But once the water touches the shore, it now touches a new element. And therefore, it can realize what wet is. It just experienced a contrast. The human being needs to appreciate contrast. Because within contrast, you find what you may say is the opposite, but it's not truly the opposite. It's another part of. The night is part of the day. For without night, you would not have day. You would just have an experience of constant light, but the dark gives you the ability to experience what it means to have day. Without a sense of challenge within your life, you could not elate at times. For this feeling of great openness and expansion. But the contrast gives you the ability to appreciate when you feel wonderfully expansive and elated. Now, some misinterpret this to mean that you need to have pain to have gain. Completely false. You need to have presence to have gain. That's all you need in life is presence. Nothing else is necessary. Isn't that astounding? All you need is presence. Now, there are some tools that assist you to be present, but if you practice the art of presence, you've given yourself the greatest gift upon this holiday. But why is it so difficult to be present? Because of habit? Because of patterns? And because of disjointed energies that have not been brought into harmony within you, worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, old wounds that are still vibrating in static. This is your only challenge. It amuses us when individuals look outside of themselves and try to change the world. Look what's happening right now in a very brief way. Individuals have great dislike to the current system, and they want to change the system. But they keep on projecting a negative energy towards the current system. So what do you feel they're going to create? Much of the same. Stop trying to change the world. Leave it alone. That's right, leave it alone. Change yourself, and you have changed your reality. Because which part of the individual is trying to change the world? The aspect of the individual that has some notion, some narrative of how the world should be. Well, what's that narrative based on? Some preference? Some value system? Some state of morality? It's coming from their personality. If you truly want a better world, stop judging the current world. Let it be. And from this place, you journey in your truth and stop trying to convince others of your truth. Live your truth. And don't compromise your truth, and don't negotiate your truth. And now you are a free soul. And from this place, you begin to direct your mind, because you're not involved in the noise anymore. And there's going to be a lot of noise, not just because of the noise makers of the new year, but there's going to be a lot of noise. And it's just drama. It's not important, because your reality is coming from you. So live like a master, not as a victim. Live from your strength, not as a follower. The greatest protest is internal peace. And if you can say, the greatest weapon is light. Thought. It's the distortion of your reality. The pause of this moment was intentional. It is through that quiet and silence your mind is clear. From the clear mind, there is no narrative. There is no projection. It's just a clear state of presence. You are observing without exploiting the moment with your preferences, with your morals, with your values. You simply are. But you're not a robot. because you're feeling. And as you feel, you navigate your world. Machines have great use, but they're extraordinarily limited. So don't praise the technological age. Utilize it, but don't praise it. Individuals who want to be superhumans have lost the entire perspective, the purpose of life. It's not to run faster or have greater physical strength. It's to feel. That's what makes the human being so beautiful. It's feeling. And no machine will ever be able to feel. And you must go deep into feeling. As the friend that I utilize to speak through has shared prior to my sharing, some of you may be feeling physical discomfort in these recent days. And it's okay. It will pass. Because your body is energy, frequency, an electromagnetic system. And the discomfort is a teacher, not a hindrance. And so we feel. The quieter the mind, the more we can feel. And this is what disempowers the lower powers that be. You can see right through their nonsense, their lies. You don't get disoriented anymore with their manipulation because you feel. And when someone says, why don't you believe this or that? Because I don't feel it. And if they say that's not very scientific, you can let them know that most science is not very scientific. Because it's not.